Good evening. I'll try to keep my 10 minutes, 10 minutes. He sent a message to me saying that the topic I'm going to speak about for 10 minutes is effectiveness of quality of good sound. You know, in regards to performance. In church, we call it administration. You know, I studied live audio engineering, and people call it sound engineer, but professionally, we call it audio engineering because this is sound. This is not what I do. Sound can be anything. Your car horn, door slamming, you know. So, I was like, how can I do it in 10 minutes? Because I do seminars for hours. So, trying to... Okay, before you can have what you call effective sound production, or let's say audio production, for any presentation, call it church, drama, whatever, it doesn't involve the engineers alone. It involves everybody. Now, this is attitude I get from musicians or whoever wants to use the equipment. They chill in their houses or hotel rooms or whatever they are being kept. Be checking the time. You know, the program is 6 o'clock. I was strolling. You know, and when they do strolling, pick up the mic or instrument. It's not working well. It's not working well. Were you for 2 hours, for 3 hours before the event began? Sometimes they send messages to people saying there's what you call sound check. They don't come. They don't show up. I have different reason to have be angry with some A-list gospel artists. I don't want to mention them. I don't know where this is going to, this program. So, in Abuja, in Port Harcourt, in Benue, different states, they'll be in their children speaking in tongues. For God's sakes, you don't learn how to shoot when it's wartime. Pray at home. When it's sound check, come. Test your equipment. The experience, they didn't just walk up from the hotel room or from whatever they're traveling to on stage. They had sound check days before. So, you know, test your thing and go. So when you come, then everything blends. There are 2 scriptures I have since we're in church. So I can use that too. At least if I don't go scripture sometimes my sound I see I'm too secular. Okay. Luke 16:12. If you know the scripture says, if you have not been faithful in what belongs to others, who shall give you what belongs to you? Faithfulness is part of coming early to anything. I've been here since 1 o'clock in the afternoon. My church is in Lekki. See that I was running, I see you. I'm doing organizing this program because it's in my DNA, it's in my gene to come early for anything. Except I'm not coming. It's just like that, it's just me. So, musicians, singers, even pastors, most churches want to call me to come and do our sound for you. I will tell your bishop, pastor, anybody sir, you must do sound check. I did for the first time. Let me know how you speak, what you want to use, because I don't know you. I don't know if you hold mic like this. You know, you can see that's reduced. So when you hold mic like this, it's an abuse of the mic. So get a $3 million equipment, you won't get the best of it. Engineer, I spent a lot of money on this equipment. What's going on? But you are the one causing the problem. Most singers, you know, because you see Jay-Z do these things, doesn't make it right. You cop the mic, can you see? Amen. Let's have a blast in this house today, you know. And you're saying, I'm sounding one, can you just crush the frequencies? So a lot of ignorance flying, you know, in churches and people using equipment, and they'll tell you, we have been fasting and praying for this event or this program, but it didn't work out well. Why? You disobeyed the principle that guides that department. For everything that runs, okay, let me add this. I practiced professional music for 20 years. Before I stopped, I went to audio school. So I can talk from the aspect of being a musician. You know, and that was 2007. I discovered that people like to break the rules, especially maybe Africans or Nigerians. You break the rules of that discipline or whatever you want to do, then you hope it works out well because you have prayed. It won't. I'm here to meet a very powerful man of God whose battery of cordless mic is about to run out. And it keeps getting full back. I'm here to meet them yet. Maybe if you have seen. Your battery of the cordless mic, a careless engineer didn't check. 1 bar to go and it's blinking, about to die. It will die. God is not responsible for that. So, I'm coming from the top. I'm still going to get to the musicians and engineers quickly. So, that you do your part. Come early. Be as concerned as other people. You know, engineers are always like 5 hours, sometimes days, sometimes weeks. Experience has been like 1 week setting plus before that D-Day, you know. You don't just bring equipment that evening and say, let us go. We are spiritual people. It won't work. That's where the thing goes, you know. Then, coming to the instrumentalists and the people that will use the equipment. And it's basically to play. Another thing, most of them like to come in late. When they do come late, and it's even insulting, embarrassing, you waving your hands when the cameras are on, saying, making somebody else look responsible. Meanwhile, the person has been there like 6-10 hours or a day before. But you came late, without no remorse. But anytime you obey those principles, things work. I discovered that the secular guys don't do videos the way we do. They don't. I've worked with A-list of the A-list in 2008, from Mohit to Whiskey and all of them. The video 2012, I just was album launch. You tell these guys 12 is sound check. With all their money, they will work in 11:30 with their band. They will sit down. They could tell anyway, just mention it. They will sit down. When they finish, they go back to their hotel room and start smoking their igbo. And when they come back, the program will go on well. Nothing will go wrong. But it's only most of the time in church environment that people want to be disobedient, and come and say, okay, this thing must work because it's church. And God is not a disorganized God. He's very organized. So when you're not being faithful, part of faithfulness is coming early to, I know it's something people do. Okay, for instance, do you do sound check before service in this church? Who can answer for that, please? Sound check before, call your service 7 a.m. Do you test run even 30 minutes every service, especially Sunday? Please, who is a member of this church here? The choir and instrumentalists do sound check. That's what I'm asking for. You do. That's strange. Really, it's really strange. Because I know churches, people just stroll and all of that. So now, once you've done your part, then you cannot pick, okay, and say these guys are not doing their job in terms of the sound engineer and the musicians. Do your part, come in as singers, handle things, instrumentalists come in, do your check, play together. That's what they call sound check and sound balancing. After the check, each of the mics is working, they are working, you can hear myself, they play a common song together. They call sound balancing, they can adjust levels, then shut down, go and sit down. You see, Satan will not touch anything. That Satan we used to blame every time. It will be useless. Now I'm Bible says my people perish because of what? Knowledge. And guess what? Knowledge is the last. It's not even there because you still have wisdom and you still have understanding. How do you know you have understanding? The ability to easily pass on what you have to somebody else without even. I understand this thing. You tell me, what should I do? I'm actually. You don't fully understand what you're talking about. Probably you know it, but you don't understand it yet. So you even lack knowledge. And Bible says you shall perish. Even as a Christian. My dad was a pastor for 6 years. I can tell you, when I see foolishness, I know. You can't call it for me. And when I see somebody operating in wisdom, operating in information level, I know this person is going somewhere. Then Psalm 33 verse 3. From verse 1 says, praise is comely to be what? Upright. That's not where I'm going to. Go to the 3, says that play harp skillfully. Now to the instrumentalist. Bishop Edoko said, skill is a conscious effort. It's consciously acquired. Paul planted or plants. Apollo waters. And God what? Give it increase. 3 action word or situation. 2 for human being. 1 for God. When you plant, it depends on what you want to plant to know if you're going to clear the the space you want to use. Then if it's yam, if it's corn, the way you approach corn, just drop it, go away to grow. If it's yam, start to make edges and ridges and all of that. So there are set principles to do when you're about to what? Even plant. Then when you water, if you know anything about farming, it's systematic. You can't go and carry water anytime you like. Just pour midnight and afternoon on your crop to die. Look at those processes. All for human. Those are 2 human factors. Then God will not give increase. So 3 action words, 2 for human beings. So when you suspend the 2 to be done, and you are saying, God bless my hustle, you're on your own. It's just you're on your own. Okay. So play harp skillfully. I have a drummer in my church. I just told him a few days ago. You would play drum on Sunday, drop your sticks, and show up next Sunday again. You're going nowhere. You're deceiving yourself. You're going nowhere. And that's why I like the secular guys. You're doing rehearsals, you can't meet up. They'll bring somebody that will replace you. The person will be looking at you like this. When you finish, say, stand up. Let this person try these songs. You can go. Give him transport. That's the end. There's no, you call it a profession, right? That we're going. Instead of you saying, hey, by His grace, I will join. By His grace, and you're destroying the band, and you're dragging the band, they can't move forward. There was a studio I was managing for the man that owns Narabet. That was 2012. I did it for like 6 years. Augusta is really there. Spent like almost 40 million to do the studio. Bought equipment. And mention any other artist as at then, that was hot. They come there. They leave Lekki, leave everything, come and do their rehearsals. They were able to be shaking. Now, there's this church. I'll mention them. The pastor came in and said, why is this choir saying they want to rehearse in the studio and not in church? So it was when he now came, heard the sound. It was like, okay, now I know the reason they are making me spend money every week to go and practice in the studio and not in our church. We have nothing in the church. So we now began that deal of updating their sound in church. That was then. Then I played a very popular female gospel artist that came in to rehearse. She was at the experience. I won't mention them. And he heard that. He was like, who is this? Says this person. And I played another one of a secular female artist. Her name is Waje. He had not heard the two. He said, but these guys, the secular guys are more disciplined, it's quiet. He said, this one. But these people are just making noise. They came with 2 guitarists, 3 keyboardists, everything distortion. This was supposed to be spiritual. The other one was supposed to be secular. Secular is more clean. I said, I had only, I think, bassist, 2 horns guy, lead guitarist, drummer, and keyboardist. That's it. But these people came with, football team. And it was all distortion everywhere. Man, I said, can you imagine why? We should be people of excellence and not these guys. And I said, but these guys will come in 2 hours before studio session. They will test the equipment one by one and they will not sit down before the 10 o'clock session in the morning. But these church guys are now strolling. I say, there's one accident on the express there. And while they're doing the so-called rehearsals, they are doing practice inside rehearsal. Are 2 different things. So for the musicians, skill is very essential. It is not, you are not unspiritual for being skillful. We need the skill. That's why they got you guys to be doing what you're doing. If not, I'm sure some people can do, oh Lord, my God, on the keyboard here, and you can come and do that. But we need something beyond just the ordinary, which is called skill. And once you are skillful, it's easier to use a good musical equipment, even a bad one. When you're not skillful, they give you the best of the best drums based on the keyboard. You know that nonsense that will come out. Because human factor will always guide everything. Then to these engineers, always try to up your game. Meaning you don't stay where you used to be. I listen to Grammys to check their sound. I've been listening to Experience. I was not there on Friday. But throughout today, I've been listening online to check. And I'm seeing some, good and not so good aspects. Not for criticism, but for myself. So if I'm put in that position, can I do better? So I listen to compare Grammys, compare this one, compare that one, and merge it to our own. Where are we? So for engineers, if you need to go to school, which I did, drop everything you're doing, go to school. As of 2009, successfully God helped us to run a concert. I think Experience was 4 years then. With Dodie McLaughlin came to my church, Blue Roof LTV8, And it was so massive. Everybody was like, thank God I was in charge of the sound, the camera, everything. I was the person coordinating them. People are coordinating, hugging me. It was the second week I went to audio school. I forgot all this glory, all this clapping. Went to sit down for the next 4 years and listen. They gave me watches, almost 100,000, did this one, that one. It didn't enter my head. I said, no. Me, I know that this thing will not last. So making sure there's a clean or quality sound is not the job of one person like we used to think. You can't do anything you like and you come to church or come to the